Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 games, we go on to game number 4 in this semifinal match. Right now, Team Raytheon dishing out the pain. Leading the series 2-1. Up in the top right corner from Team Raytheon, it is none other than the man who names himself the Great. And down in the bottom right, from Team Twitch, currently down 1-2 in this best of 7. It is Unless. Good luck, have fun, player, says the Great, speaking only in generalities, because how do you address someone whose name is Unless? It's going to be a very difficult time, and it looks like Unless is going to be getting the pylon up at the ramp. So that way he can go for gateway first. Or he's parting and always builds the gateway in his main. Why does he do that? Map is going to be Whirlwind, and oh no, Twitch's player Unless is scouting in the wrong direction first, which means it's going to take him a century and a half, and maybe even more than that, maybe 2-3 millennia to get all the way to that top right corner. He will never get there in time, and it looks like, oh me, oh my. Oh no, never mind. PP, he wants to pause the game. Very quick pause, we're already back on track. Continued chrono boost coming out by Unless from Team Twitch. Really does need to put a win on the table for his team. Otherwise, they will fall to 1 game away from losing. Unless getting the gateway at his ramp up in the top right. The Great has his spawning pool en route as well. Very typical play out of Zerg. A little bit of atypical play out of Unless. There it is. Unless now is heading up to the top left side. He has no idea. One of the big key facets of this map is this watchtower up in center. Controlling that watchtower is an absolutely essential piece to monitoring whether there's some sort of weird attack coming at your other expansions, the 3rd and the 4th for Protoss. This is an acceptable 3rd/4th base for the Protoss player, but still important to keep those vision options open. Unless, wow, going for a very gas-heavy build. Could be some air units coming up in this bad boy. Gonna be sending a probe out. A little bit of semi-complete wall with the cybernetics core. Now, one thing I wanted to note right off the bat, these 2 teams in semifinal number 1 will be going up against the winner of semifinal number 2, which is Yelp and NetSuite. And those teams will battle it out in the best of 7 finals for that B League. The Great did a little bit of extractor trickery to make sure that he could get his queen started in time. This is kind of a funky position to be in as Zerg, because you're, oh wow, I'm not actually up against an early expander, up against a fast gasser. That means instantly the amount of information you get is greatly reduced. You don't know if there's going to be some sort of stalker coming in there and ruining your day. Wow, it looks like it's going to be sentry right off the bat. Still has a lot of gas, so we could very easily do something like tech to a Stargate, build 2 more gateways and get more Zealot Sentry. Oh no. Oh my god, they're gonna get... Oh! Unless doing some nice micro to protect his front. The Zerglings. Ah. Dastardly Lings. Picking off the pylon. Oh, hang in there, computer. Get him. Tickles the Zerglings until they relent. The Great adding on 2 more queens. The Spine Crawler in the main base wants to make sure he doesn't lose to a 4 gate, because that would be terrible. 2nd sentry coming out right now. Will he add on some more gateways? Looks like he's getting ready to add on 2 more. We have a probe sort of peculiarly positioned. Oh, here's the probe at the front, building 1 gate. There's another gate going down at the back side. He trapped his probe. He's going to untrap the probe and retrap a gateway. Zerglings from the Great. Ooh, wow. Now, we have 4 gateways going down right now, but this really does not look like 4-gate aggression. We have a 5th gate going down, and this is starting to look a lot more like aggression, unless he's just feeling way overly cautious and wants to wall off, and a mothership core coming up from Unless. I mean, right now, the Great seems to be in much better position. He's getting up his spine crawlers, and he is going drones, drones, drones. Drones, drones. Now, with this amount of gas, he can either go for roaches, he can go for the... Ooh, he's going for an early upgrade. Now, this is an interesting choice. If you get Carapace, you can focus on Zerglings for most of the early and mid game, because you're guaranteed to be ahead of your opponent in those ups. There it is. Looks like he's gonna be getting an expansion up. An expansion up. And he's gonna expand? Is he gonna just pylon? Is he gonna He could attack, he could expand. Both of these are the options right now. Wow, he is going for the Zergling attack upgrade. Haven't seen this in quite some time. A lot of players back in the early GSL days, when it was this sort of one basing Protoss to start things off, would opt to get a very, very swift +1 Zergling attack because they needed this Evo chamber in case there was air, and then the Zerglings can slip through the force field cracks very easily and deal massive damage. Wow, it looks like Unless kind of wants to go for an attack, but he's going to run headlong into a pack of Zerglings with speed soon. Oh no, Raytheon. Raytheon, the great... Oh, the force field! He needs to throw on the pylon now. He needs to get the warpins going now. He needs to stay defensive. He can't get too overeager. There's about to be a lot of speedlings coming up, and keep in mind, these speedlings have those big wings because they can move extra fast. Oh, this is intense. There's a follow-up warpin round. 5 gateways of action coming up. Does the Great even know? Does the Great even know? Does the Great even know? He does. Positioning himself for this round. Nothing but Zerglings in production. A lot of spine crawlers up. This could be a very fast game. If this attack botches from Unless, his team could be done in this game. Or if the Great miscontrols and gets his Zerglings caught on the wrong side of a good force field, that could be it. 5 Zealots coming on in. The Mothership Core, get out! Retreat! Here's the Force, moving on up. And oh, the Queens get trapped. A nice bait by that Mothership Core. And the Zerglings surround. He needs the force field like crazy. He's hit F a couple times. Nice force fields. Even those Zealots on the outside, but the Spine Crawlers are dealing some real hurt bringing. Needs more force fields to protect those sentries that are starting to fall in rapid numbers. We have more Zealots springing up into the front lines. Oh my god, the Zergling numbers are just gigantic. The Mothership Core does do a little bit of poking damage to the backside, but in this position... Oh, Unless from Team Twitch is not looking good. Some nice force fields to prevent the Zerglings from getting the full surround. And it looks like Unless will be able to come out on top of that engagement, especially with 5 more Zealots coming in from the backside. But Baneling Nest is just wrapped up. These are +1 Banelings. They're going to deal all the damage they need to do against those Zealots. Slight repositioning there, getting into a better angle. More sentries are coming up. A couple of drones being produced. This is a lot of confidence out of the Great. The Great seems to think that he has got this game won. He's got to be so careful. Oh no! Ouch! The Banelings connect enormously. Just connect like crazy. Now it looks like some Stalkers are in production with some more Zealots, and Unless is actually making some slight headway here. He needs to pull back. He can't afford to engage that Spine Crawler single-handedly, but there's not a lot left for Zerg. Oh, those Banelings were going to do it. Oh my gosh, the Queen's going to fall. Queen's down. Is there a Queen in the main base? Yes, there's 2 Queens ready to do those larva injects. More Zerglings coming on up. Still is fairly close. There's no force field at the ramp, but the Spine Crawlers are down. An only Zealot series of Warpins could do it. It could slowly tip the balance, unless, with the Mothership Core still alive, more Spine Crawlers to be produced. Chrono Boost going down on all those gateways. He needs to get more Zealots in there, and the Great has only Zerglings to produce. The drones run away. Another Spine Crawler coming on up. 5 Zealots moving into the front. And I think that unless... Oh, the Zerglings and Queens come down. And now Unless finally picks off the Mothership Core. The good game from Unless. Oh, Twitch TV in atrocious position. Currently down 1-3. Which means Entropy fails from Twitch. Must win this game. Butters from Raytheon has to be courageous enough to put that 4th win on the map for Raytheon to advance in this best of 7. So stay tuned, because when we return, it's going to be another game. It's going to be another game. It's going to be Game 5 of the AHGL Semifinals.